Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Living life requires a particular kind of fuel, and that fuel is called money. Filthy lucre, dough, credit cards,
you don't hear
filthy
lucre a whole lot these days.
You don't
That's
really
good.
hear that much, do you? I love filthy lucre.
Okay, I don't travel.
You know, it's all filthy. It is. It's
yes,
my
that
daughter.
It is.
My daughter is strange. She met us at Chick-fil-A the other day.
Of course she did.
And her mother sent her up to the counter to buy something. And she goes, "I just washed my hands. I don't want to touch your dirty money." Now, she's a 4th grade teacher.
Her hands do get dirty a bit in the 4th grade, I have to imagine.
Well, yeah, but she didn't want to get the old germy money in her hand.
Oh, yeah, right.
Here's a kid. She doesn't spend money. She hardly knows what bills are.
I hate to break the news to you, but as a teacher in Florida, she didn't got any money to spend.
That's true. She doesn't have much to
all right,
spend.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like
know,
that, but gotta be
but you know what
careful.
she does? She uses her phone.
To pay.
To send money, to pay bills,
Venmo?
to buy things. Venmo or
I'm on Venmo.
Apple Pay.
I must be hip.
You're on
I'm
Venmo?
on Venmo before you. So how about that, huh?
No,
Yeah.
I'm on Venmo.
Oh, okay. I was hoping I was finally ahead of you on something.
And no, you're never ahead of me technologically.
That's true.
I run rings around you
Oh, yeah, well, that's not
technologically.
saying much, as you know.
Yeah, Tom
Anyway,
the Luddite.
There you go.
He lives
well, anyway,
in
so what? So how did she end up paying with her phone then?
She used her left hand to carry the money. to the counter.
Okay. Is there something about
But
the
she's
left hand
right-handed.
washing the right?
I
Anyway,
have-
so okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
It's kind of a silly story.
Yeah, no, it's
but,
a good story.
but you
Money
know,
is
it
dirty
occurred
is
to me-
what you're saying.
I got to give the number. I forgot that.
Please,
give
and
the number,
mention
Don.
who we are and set all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Don McDonald, that's me over here. Over there's Tom Cock.
Yeah.
That's him over there. We have been talking about money on the radio for just way too long, or on television or somewhere. Not me, television. Him, television.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm the radio guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, 855-935-TALK is our phone number. It is a free call, of course, because it's an 855. And wait, it's better than free. We actually like the new ETF coming out with negative fees.
Yeah.
With negative fees, we pay you to call.
Yeah, and in this case, actually, the deal's real. They're not going to next year go, oh, by the way, we're going to raise that to 40 basis points or whatever. No,
they said
1
when
year.
they hit 100 million, or when they hit, because it could, Well, they said they would go to 29 basis points then.
Yeah, all right. I think you read the prospectus. My guess is
Carefully.
they can go higher. I think
Read it
Jason
carefully.
wrote about this, that the people always do these real cheapy deals to get you in, and then, oh, by the way, next year, we're going up.
Well, speaking of which, by the way, the number again, 855-935-TALK. You get a free copy of Talking Real Money, not Talking Real Money, Financial Physics. I can't even remember the name of my book.
Flabbergasted.
It has been a long, long week.
All
My
right.
wife was injured a couple of weeks
Your
ago.
wife was injured.
And I have been taking care of her and working, and I'm tired.
Well, you know, those charity events can be very violent occasions. Don't go to
Apparently,
any
when
more
you-
of those. Those are tough
when
places,
you have
apparently. I'm
when
telling
you have
you
a wife who wants to meet people and
Yeah.
greet people and runs across.
How is she doing, by the way? Debbie fell. It was a
she's
bad
in pain.
fall. She's still in
she
pain. That was
cracked
because that was a
couple of
week ago,
ribs.
right?
Well, they said the ribs are like 6 weeks before they start.
But she did.
healing.
She did broke her hand, wasn't it, too, or something?
Broke a
And-
bone in her hand and one in her foot.
Good Lord, it was a bad fall. Bad fall. How did
Yeah,
the announcer do after she tackled him? Was he okay at the event, or how did that work out? I heard somebody was cutting in on the bid, and she said, "No, wham!" That was it. Okay. No, we wish her well. She's
No tackling going
she's
on.
an energetic spirit who wanted to run across the room and say hi
She
to
did.
somebody.
She was. Well, it was the principal from my daughter's old high school, and she
Yeah.
saw her across the room, and she hadn't seen her in
Hi.
years.
Wham.
So she wanted to say hi, and she tripped over a light box in the floor.
Doesn't sound
Oh,
good.
well, I was talking about. I gave the number.
Oh, there's a point to all
855.
this. Okay.
I'm doing something.
Yeah.
855-935-TALK is the number. You get a copy of Financial Physics. I'll even sign it for free and send it out. And we don't charge you for postage or anything. But no, we were talking about fees.
Yes.
And there is a point to this. One of the reasons I brought up the whole getting into college thing was because parents need to be saving for college, and we talk about 529s all the time.
Yep.
529 plans, and we name some really good ones. But I had forgotten until I read about it in the Wall Street Journal and on other publications that brokers can set up a 529 for you.
Don't do that.
Brokers. They can set up a 529. And what they're doing to make you think that their 529 is competitive with the 529s that Utah has or West Virginia has or whomever it might be, Nebraska, I don't know, whoever has the good ones. They're saying, well, I've got no-load funds for you.
Which is a bunch of baloney.
I can put your money in no-load funds. Like the American funds, no-load funds. Well, wait. Brokers can't sell the American funds, no-load funds. There are American funds that are no-load, but they're institutional. Brokers or investment advisors can sell them who aren't paid commissions. But no, the brokers either sell you an A share with a 5 3/4% load up front.
Commission.
That means 5.75% of your money goes away.
Worst one-day market in history.
Or they put you into the C share. That's the magical no-load share.
And if you're going to do this, my recommendation would be go to the Utah plan, use age-based, aggressive global portfolio, and forget about it. Very low fees, no commissions. Heck of a good deal.
He's doing a mob thing.
How about
He's
that?
doing a mob thing. Forget about it. In the wake of the Gambino crime family having a little war going on. But anyway, the fees can be ridiculously high. Beware.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Do you know what your investment risk tolerance is? Take our free no-obligation risk quiz at talkingrealmoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
We're here to try to help you end up with more of your money and everybody else to end up with less of your money. We want to turn the whole system around because right now you go get an annuity with somebody, they make 4%, you make 4%. How is that fair?
It was your money, right? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good deal.
It sounds terrible to me. Look at the fine print on some of these variable annuities. It could be 3 to 4% to them, leaving you with like 3 to 4%. I don't see that being fair. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And, Chris, you are up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello, Chris.
Hey there, guys. First-time caller. Love your show.
Thank you. That's very kind.
So I got a question about my wife and I are looking to buy a house, and the question is about down payment. So right now we sold our condo. We've got about $175 in cash, and we can probably pull out another 15 or 20 from one of those like 401(b) savings plans that we have with our company. So we can probably get close to $200,000 for a down payment. We're looking for a house, in the $800,000 to $1 million range. So the question is it worth it to put the 20% down to save the mortgage insurance, or should we put maybe 10% down and invest the rest? Like, I'm trying to decide. We've been talking about obviously the mortgage insurance piece, but also prices are going down. So,
okay, you got to be careful with that. You need to be careful with prices are going anywhere. But go ahead, Don.
Yeah. Okay. Here, couple things. One, how I understand the desire to have the best house. The 800, because even in Seattle, 800 to $1 million gets you a pretty nice house.
Indeed, it does.
That's a.
Well, we're looking in Bellevue, so that's a teardown.
Oh yeah, you're right. Go somewhere else. Don't buy in Bellevue. What are you thinking?
Oh, now wait for the calls to come in there. I like that. Yeah.
Well, go on the other side. Go on the other side of the tracks. Or the interstate.
There really isn't any. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, Belridge, you can go down that way and then tear something down cheaper. But, wow. The question of mortgage insurance.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
PMI,
because here's the problem. If you're going to take the money out of your 403Bs,
we're not going to be happy with that.
You're going to pay taxes and you're going to pay penalties and you're going to just get killed. With 175, you are going to have to. I would not take money out of any retirement plan for that. But I got to tell you, the mortgage insurance can be a little bit ponderous initially. It's something you want to get rid of as soon as possible. So try to stay toward the 800 end of it. have private mortgage insurance for a couple of years. Almost every one I've ever seen allows you to contact them when you've hit the 20% threshold and stop the insurance within X amount of time.
I'm with Don on this one. I would not take any money out of my retirement accounts. I would not necessarily pay the 20% to eliminate the PMI. You can, as you say, when equity grows and you paid some down, you can eliminate that at a later date. I think that's good advice.
And the final point I want to get, the final bit of advice is don't try to time the market. You think the stock market's hard to time? The real estate market has even longer cycles, and they're more ponderous, and all of this is totally unpredictable. And, you cannot predict the future.
And random.
And when you buy a house, you should buy a house for one reason only: a place to live.
Yeah. So
period.
I hear the house prices are going down, but I also see anecdotally that has not been the case, but we'll see.
Well, and it doesn't really matter anyway, unless you are running a business investing in real estate, not a passive real estate investor. This passive real estate investor business, I'm sorry, I'm going on my soapbox again. All of these people pitching passive real estate investments should be shot at dawn, because that's not a great investment.
Now that we can see Dawn here, we'll take you up on that. So
okay, see, now you know when to shoot them. 855-935-TALK is our number. And Marlene, you're next. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Marlene.
Marlene's very quiet.
Marlene?
I didn't even
Hello?
hear her.
Hi.
Oh,
yes.
I heard a click now. Hi, Marlene.
Drive safely. How can we help?
So I have a question about early retirement. I'm 56. My husband is 58. I'm a teacher. He works at Boeing. We'll both have a pension through our jobs. But I'd really like to retire early, and it seems like one of the biggest factors is affording medical care until it kicks in. So do you have any creative suggestions for affording that?
Don't get sick for like the next 7 years.
No,
is that
wait.
good?
Are you talking, Marlene? Are you talking about both of you retiring, or just you?
Well, we'd both like to, but I'm not sure that's realistic. But at least one of us, put it that way.
Because if only one of you.
Cobra, yes.
Well, Cobra doesn't last very long. Cobra.
Right.
Now, let me just ask you this: why do you want? I can understand as a teacher, maybe, or as a line worker at Boeing, maybe, but why do you want to retire? I mean, stop working at 56 and 58. What are you going to do for the next 30 years?
Well, I would do things that I haven't been able to do while I've been a teacher because it's a 24-hour job. Like
I know my daughter's one of them, so.
Yeah,
I would suggest that maybe you try it out for a little while with just one of you retiring. If you really want to do that, and it probably should be the lower earning of the two, and then you just go on his insurance as a dependent at Boeing.
There really is no other solution. Of course, Medicare not available till age 65.
Not available till 65.
So
and let me just give you a little taste of reality. Health insurance for the two of you on your own can run as high as $2,000 a month.
Yes.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, so how do people retire early? That's
they don't.
Here's another idea.
They
Here's
have
another
a lot
idea.
of money.
Here's another idea. Here's another idea.
Okay, I like your other ideas.
Praise Kim Miller, who's our advisor, who's here answering the phones today, because she's the one who put this list together. A lot of employers have part-time jobs where they provide health care. For example, you can go work, and I wouldn't do this at Starbucks, at Lowe's. There's a lot of places where you can work 25 hours a week. You get a little income, and you get the health care, which I do think is a pretty good solution for people that say, I'm done with my full-time job. I'll do a little something to keep health care.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that a barista at Starbucks doesn't have homework.
If you're really nice and you call back and get Kim, she'll send you the list. She put together this huge. It's a full page of all.
Well,
the
why
places.
don't we just put her on hold and have Kim pick it up?
Oh, okay. Well, you're so smart, Don. Thank you for figuring that out.
I liked it.
But anyway, I think that's an alternative. It's a good one. That was her idea.
Okay, Marlene, hang on, and then you can semi-retire. Not totally retire.
Yeah, and you're kind of hard. You're kind of hard on people. Oh, why do you want to retire? Well, because I'm tired of my job. That's why.
Well, that's okay, but you can't be tired of work. because that's what we're put on the planet to do. She said she was going to volunteer and the like, and that's
Okay.
great.
All right.
But, the other thing you can do is you can get a paid position with a nonprofit. They
true.
hire people.
That's true. You can part-time.
And some of them have insurance for part-time people.
As you know, the two of us are not good people to take advice on this. Because
retiring?
Because we're never going to quit. I had the 2 days where I was stuck at home. I had the 2 days where I was stuck at home with my snow, and after the second day, my wife said, if this is what retirement looks like, you can just forget it. So, any rate, it didn't happen.
All right, we're going to need to take a break. I think we're even late for it. Yes.
Oh, we are? Okay. Well, that's why your hands are... I didn't know if you're Beto O'Rourke or what the deal was.
And I'm going, I think traffic gesticulating. I think somebody needs to do traffic or something.
We'll be right back with more.
That's really weird. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. Give us a call. We'll try to put your financial life in slightly better order, give you some ideas that you might be able to use, some that you probably won't want to.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
It may not be the sexiest website in the world, but it's your one-stop shop for real money information, talkingrealmoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And because it's been in my backyard for 6 weeks, I'm going to call it my snow. It's been there 6 weeks tomorrow. So that's my snow. I'm okay with that.
Taking possession of the blizzard.
Exactly.
Are there no prisons?
Exactly.
Are there no workhouses?
Well, you're the workhouse
Get
guy.
to work.
You're a tough guy, I tell you.
855-935-TALK. That's our phone number.
You're made to work.
Sean.
That's why you were born. Get to work.
Well,
okay, great. Thanks.
What were we? What? Look around.
If I had my druther, I know I wouldn't quit, but I had more time for reading. I love reading, and I don't get enough of it. So that'd be one thing.
Okay, semi-retire and read then.
All right. So okay.
What are you going to read? 24/7? Oh, I'm really tired, honey. I'm up. I'm reading another book.
Tough day.
Don't talk to me. I'm reading.
Okay.
And then you just get bigger and bigger.
Oh, that's true too.
Bigger.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. You're a big help.
855-935-TALK. Sean, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
Hey, good.
Hello. I had a question about something Tom mentioned a couple weeks ago, which was what percentage, if any, of bonds you should have in your Roth IRA?
How old are you?
I'm 48.
How big a part
None.
of your Roth IRA is your retirement funding?
It's just extra money. I'm not planning on using it for retirement. I just
None.
have it there
Zero.
in case I need it. Zero. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because if it's going to be like a legacy thing, you're going to leave to anybody, then you want to have it in the riskiest assets. By the way, you could even get more. You could even own emerging markets or international small cap value, a fund that just holds that. If you really want to hope for 12, 13% a year, really see some growth. But yeah, a Roth IRA, because it grows tax-free, should hold the riskiest assets. The riskiest we would know would be stocks or equities. So you're exactly right.
Okay. And do you have any recommendations for like Vanguard funds?
VTWAX.
VTWX.
I kind of gave the wrong. They changed it.
Oh wait,
symbols.
VTWAX.
VTWAX. Wax on.
VTWAX. Yeah.
Like the show. V as in victory. T as in Tom. W as in
watermelon.
A as in
Something I could
axe
call 'em.
capital. X as in X-ray. VTWAX. It's one fund. It holds 8,800 securities around the world, and it does it for about 20 basis points, I think. It's very inexpensive.
Less.
Yeah.
I think it's less now.
That's what I would do with my Roth if I was trying to figure out one fund and made it simple.
Thanks,
That help?
Sean. Appreciate the call. And Kevin is next.
Yes, he
on
is.
Talking Real Money. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I have a question. I got a pen, or was it a 457 through my work, and I currently contribute to, I think it's like Vanguard, and it's through iMark, through another company, but they put it in like Vanguard, and I moved it all to 2060.
A target date fund with the date of 2060.
2060?
You're a friend of Don's. Work until 2060. We want you on the job. That's like 40 years or something, right?
I didn't even know they had targets out that far.
Neither did I. So that's going to be...
I will be dead by then.
Yeah, me too. I'm guessing that is probably all stocks, or maybe 90% in stocks, 20% in, or 10% in bonds. What's your question? I'm sorry.
So I'm 41, and I'm just trying to make the most of my money. And there's not much there. There's only like $28,000 there, but I lost a bunch in a divorce. So I'm trying to kind of make up ground. Should I continue leaving it there?
Well, here's the question. We don't know the other fund possibilities in that portfolio.
However, the 2060 is likely to be the portfolio in which you are likely to make the most money, and you are also likely to be most frightened by when the market turns south. As long as you can stay when the market goes down, I think it may be the choice you were looking for.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just about everything you need to know about money can be found at our website, talkingrealmoney.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Welcome back to Talking Real Money. I'm Don McDonald. Over there is Tom Cock. This is the place where you're going. Yeah, the word going is now hard to say.
Speech lessons are paying off.
You're going to get the information you need to make great decisions when it comes to dealing with your money, particularly investing it. You will not get pitched a Ponzi scheme like Doc, guy named Doc Gallagher in
Texas,
Dallas, Texas was actually he did a show on a religious channel.
Doc had his
religious
flock.
Station.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Doc was a good Christian who who said we've got an investment that's just absolutely safe, paying between 6 and 8% per year, absolutely safe. What was it? Everybody, repeat after me. A Ponzi scheme.
Give me a P. Give me an. It's hard to read. Good old Doc.
A lot of these guys on the radio, I got to tell you, that's the problem with being on the radio. We're in terrible company, generally.
Well, Kelly's a nice person.
No, but I mean just on the radio.
Oh, Jeff
across America
is another story, but that's a whole other thing.
Other stations.
Ah, got
this
it. Okay,
one.
okay. Sorry.
No, not
I saw
this
Amanda.
one.
She's nice. I saw her today. She's always friendly. No, okay.
You saw who? Amanda?
Yeah, she was in here.
She was actually in on a Saturday?
I have no idea why.
Amanda,
she recognized me. It was very kind.
Amanda, you told me you couldn't stand coming back in there. On Friday, you were done. Done. You told me that.
Well, maybe we're in a day early. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe that could be. 855-935-TALK is the number. And Nick, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, thanks, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, great. Thank you for your show, first of all. I mean, I don't know how many people you've been helped, but thank you so much for the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have two questions, and if I don't have time for both questions, that's fine. I'll just ask the first one, which is basically my father-in-law is not retiring. He's not retired at all, actually, but he's forced to take mandatory distributions from his IRA account. He has two accounts for E-Trade. One is an IRA, one is an investment account. Can he take that forced distribution and dump it into his other E-Trade account without any tax implications?
No, you got to pay the tax on the money that comes out of the IRA.
Period.
Okay.
There is no
that's
trick.
not quite true. You could do charitable qualified distribution.
Oh, okay.
QCD,
But if you want to keep the money,
yes, there is no way around it. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make sure of that. Second thing was, I have time for the second question.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I put $6,000 every year into my IRA and so forth. It just sits there, and I don't know what stocks to buy and all that, and I get it. But I don't know how to invest in those S&P 500 indexes. I know you said something about VT Wax just 5 minutes ago. Just to start the initial research, how do you invest in something? I have a TD Ameritrade account.
Okay, well, even at TD Ameritrade, you could buy the Vanguard fund we mentioned. I don't know that.
Although
they're going to charge you probably for it there.
If you buy VT.
That's true.
Which is the ETF version of VTWAX. It's just the symbol VT. You can buy that at TD Ameritrade with no cost. And it's a globally diversified portfolio. It gives you 8,800 stocks approximately compared to just 500 in the S&P 500.
We would expect that portfolio to make more money than the S&P 500 over time and to be less volatile. That's what
yes,
we would expect.
We would expect that, but we guarantee nothing.
V is in Victory, T is in Tom. That is an exchange-traded fund. Yep.
So some funds you're saying that do charge you money?
Well, no. If you buy a Vanguard fund at some of these other custodians, they're likely to charge you something because Vanguard doesn't share any of the revenue with them.
Right. That's what keeps them in business.
Correct. But if you bought, as Don points out, the same thing but in an exchange-traded fund, you don't have to pay any commission or any trading fee, and wow, you get all that exposure to the international markets for doggone near nothing.
Huge.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and that would be better than being in the S&P 500.
A lot better in our opinion.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Nick.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for your kind
Thanks, Nick.
comments.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
855-935-TALK. That's our number. We have a little bit of time left. We're running out of hour. Remember, you should call early in the show. And if you don't get in, keep calling that number because you can leave your question, and I'll answer it during the week on the podcast. It's really easy.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Tom and I believe in helping everybody become a better investor. That's why we offer lots of free knowledge at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-8255. That just happens to spell talk. That's our number. Call. We've got a little bit of time left to answer your question and try to get your life on the best possible track toward a wonderful, comfortable, secure future. Want to clear something up? Up until recently, Vanguard ETFs were commission-free at TD Ameritrade. They are no longer. It's basically iShares and a few others.
Biggies.
But the commission for buying an ETF other than the commission-free ETFs, of which there are only 300, everything else, including Vanguard's VT, is $6.95. This is not going to kill you. But buying a mutual fund, if you wanted to buy VTWAX through TD Ameritrade, that would cost you a $50 commission.
And here's the point.
50.
The point is, if you're planning on using Vanguard for a long time, just open the account Vanguard. You're going to pay no commissions and no. I mean, come on, and why not? But if your money's stuck at TD, I guess you could go ahead and go there.
Well, but I don't know that his money is necessarily stuck there.
No, I'm just saying if it was, people get.
And by the way, let me tell you how you move it. It's really easy. You go to Vanguard, and you transfer it in. You type in the account information. They'll go get the money from TD and bring it over. You don't even have to touch it.
Yeah, no, that's the other part that people forget about. Yeah, they'll make it simple
it's
and
really
quick
easy.
in today's world. Quick.
Yeah, you would think it would all be really quick. It's so funny. When I transfer money electronically through Bank of America, if I want it in 3 days, it's $5 or $10. If I want it in 2 days,
$30
it's $20.
Yeah.
And then if I want it the next day, it's $30. It's like it's pushing a button. I'm pushing the
They're
button.
not even pushing a button.
No human being ever sees it.
It's a great racket, but
855-935-TALK. That's our number. I couldn't use the Zelle thing either, or whatever it's called, because it was too much money.
Yep.
Christine, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money. Christine, you got your radio on.
No.
Got to turn your radio off.
You're hearing us a second time, which was really great. But yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Christine.
Hi. I have two questions for you. I'm 63 years old. I'm still working. My first question is I need to know the pros and the cons of I have an IRA at like 3 different banks. Is it good to have them at 3 different banks, or should I put all that money into one IRA or one bank?
One IRA. You should have one IRA. You don't need a lot of IRAs. An IRA is just an account in which securities are purchased. And I would never, in a billion years, have an IRA in a bank, ever.
Because the interest you're getting paid there is very, very low. It really is disadvantage. I mean, you're getting tax-deferred growth, and you're not getting much growth. So, no.
How much do you have in all of those IRAs together, Christine?
I have I put 20,000 in the Chase, U.S. Bank, and I have a savings account at Capital One.
You have a lot of banks. Doesn't that make you a little crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick a bank.
I don't know anything about investing. And my second question is, my biggest question is, I have $100,000 in my savings account just sitting there, and instead of spending it and spending it and spending it, I'm wondering, where can I put that money so it can multiply? Because I'm 63, and when it's time for me to stop working, I'll probably work until I'm 66.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I want to multiply that $100,000. It's just sitting there in my bank account.
Here's the deal, Christine. You have a decent amount of money in all of these various accounts, but they're all making you no money whatsoever. They're just making you nothing. But they're really safe. They're 100% safe because they're at the bank.
We have an expression around the office.
Any good.
We have an expression around the office. It's called losing money safely.
Yeah. You're losing money safely because inflation is eating up any of the interest they're giving you, maybe all of it, maybe more than all of it.
We have talked earlier in the show about going to Vanguard. You could go to Vanguard, open an IRA.
I got to make sure, though.
Yeah.
But Christine, before you move that anywhere at all, you need to understand that if you move it into something that can make you more money, you will be taking on risk. You will have to accept the fact that at times there is no way you or anyone else will know that the market is going down, and you just have to live with it. What I would suggest, Christine, go to talkingrealmoney.com and take our risk quiz. And then you can determine whether you are comfortable taking a little bit of risk. And if you are, then Tom's advice starts to apply about going to Vanguard and building a diversified portfolio between VTWAX and the bond fund. But otherwise, it's a risk issue.
And to close the topic before we go to Gail, to all of you that hold the $8.5 trillion in banks, Bank of America, Chase, etc., they send their love because you're making them a lot of money. Every single day. So thank you from the banks. God bless. But this is your money. Quit doing it.
That message brought to you by American Bankers Association.
It's crazy.
We love you all so much. Thank you. Gail, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
I have two quick questions. I just briefly heard you talk about the 529 plans.
Yes, ma'am.
I am an auntie. I have no children. How can I create 529 plans for great nieces and nephews?
So easy.
Yeah. You simply, do you have access to the internet?
Oh, you betcha.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You can go to my529.org. That is the Utah plan. There's a green button down on the right-hand side, I believe, that says Get Started. You can open the account online. You'll still be the account owner, but your nieces and nephews will be the beneficiaries of the money that you put in there and save. And they do it age-based, so the investments reflect the age of the person who's going to get the money. They do this in very low-cost index funds, and there's no commission. So that'd be where I would go, my529.org.
And so they can use it eventually in the state of Washington.
No,
they can use it anywhere. Anywhere.
No taxation.
That's what I wanted to make sure that I understood that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Wonderful.
the other
and
wonderful
there's no tax
thing
liability to me for the donations.
Nope.
No, ma'am. And the other wonderful
to me.
thing about it is that when you put money into this for a kid, if that child does not go to school, and it doesn't have to be a college, it can be a trade school. If they don't go to a higher education process, you can move that money to other kids.
Fun. Well, I only have 8 nieces and great nieces and nephews, so that'll work.
There you go. You're set.
You're a great aunt, as it were.
Okay.
Sorry.
Second question.
And she's a great aunt.
I know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Recently retired, living on a state pension, not collecting Social Security. I also recently got an inheritance. I have very little mortgage left. Should I pay it off?
Well, here's a reason I would
What's
say
the
no.
interest rate?
Here's a reason I would say no, because if you're retired, you're going to need cash from time to time. Harder to get it out of your
I've been
house.
retired for 2 years. I've been living on the pension without any Social Security, which I could claim.
But you have a reserve. Do you have something sitting in case there's an emergency comes up?
I have a 403B.
Okay.
I have an annuity besides that.
And what's the interest you're paying on the mortgage? Interest rate?
4.5.
Oh, keep it. Keep it. Invest that money, like we talked about. Go take the risk quiz at TalkingRealMoney.com. Create an account at Vanguard. Put a whole lot of it in a bond fund so that you've got it in case of an emergency. Maybe a little in the World Stock Fund so you have a little growth potential. And let that money build to cover you in case of a serious emergency down the road.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Download the advisor interview form and find out if your advisor's a fiduciary at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And if you're a woman and you want to learn all of the tricks to the things you need to know about managing your money that you probably don't know, our own Barbara Devereaux is teaching a terrific class. It's called Female Financial Fundamentals, and she's doing it at a lunch ed that we're holding on the 20th of March in Bellevue. You can get tickets right now. There are only 4 seats left. Get them right now at TalkingRealMoney.com, TalkingRealMoney.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.